Optimus Magnum.
What's up, everybody? I'm Optimus Magnum, otherwise known as Tony, and welcome back to the channel. Now, for this series, I'm doing the 8 games that I want to play in 2021 based on different consoles and stuff like that. So for this particular episode, we're going to do the NES, or Nintendo Entertainment System, and we're going to do 8 games that they might not be the best games or whatever like that to play, but for nostalgic purposes, I want to play some of them, and for other purposes, for reasons of I've never played it before, or I never beat it, or I played it and beat it and want to beat it again. Those kind of things like that. So let's dive in. First game is Blaster Master for the NES. I'm trying to get it out of the light. Sorry, guys. It's kind of hard. But Blaster Master was a cool game. I actually had this for the Nintendo Switch as well. They did a remastered version. It's Blaster Master 1 and 2. And that was a limited run games release. It's really cool. And I want to get into that. But before I do, I want to play this NES title first. I did play this before when I was a kid. I wasn't really good at it. I remember it being really hard, so I didn't really dive into it too much, and I didn't beat it. But I would like to do that in 2021. The game is it's kind of weird because I believe don't hold me to this, but I'm gonna put the video on the screen there. But I believe it was about a kid who has a pet frog, and the pet frog gets loose. The pet frog somehow goes into the backyard or jumps out the window or gets out of the house, jumps out the window or whatever, and lands on a radioactive box, turns into a huge frog, digs a hole, which I don't know why. I guess frogs dig. I don't know. Anyways, digs a hole, and the boy jumps in after him, and then finds this vehicle, this really cool, like, futuristic vehicle, and then the story takes off from there. I'm not sure what the story is about or what everything is, but that's what it's about from what I've seen. But anyways, I do want to play this in 2021 and see if I can complete it. That'd be really cool. I might stream it, not sure, but these are games, like I said, that I want to play in 2021. Maybe not record, or sometimes maybe I will stream. It depends. But I can. The cool thing is I can stream NES in 720p, thanks to this machine right here. This is my Nintendo AVS. It's really cool. You can play Nintendo cartridges in it. Obviously, it plays actual carts. It's not an emulator. It's actually a Nintendo system, but just in 720p. It's not made by Nintendo. It's made by and it has the old design of what the Nintendo was kind of. I believe there was the old first design of the Nintendo was somewhat similar, so they kept that design and they decided to make this. Whoever made this, I bought it off a retro USB. I'm not sure how what the whole story is, but you can go to their page and read their whole about section, and it tells you about the story or the backstory about this AVS and everything. It's really cool. But anyways, the next game, now this one is for 80s nostalgia period. I'm a big fan of the 80s. It's more 80s than the 90s, but I'm a big fan of both. But I really love the 80s, and I love some of the 80s TV shows growing up. They were really cool. And this one is Airwolf. And Airwolf was one of my favorite TV shows. It was so cool. This helicopter was so dope, guys. This helicopter would be able to fly at like supersonic speeds. It would take on fighter jets, do all these crazy maneuvers, and had like a Mach somethings. I can't remember the speed, but it was like ridiculous. And the show was just so 80s macho. It was cool. And that's the kind of the 80s kind of thing. There was like macho guys and macho jets and cars and cool things, and just, I don't know, it was just, that's the 80s, the whole thing. And I love that. Now this game it might not be the best of games from what I've seen. I've seen little bits and pieces of people playing this, and it doesn't look like it's something that I could finish, but it's a game that I'm going to dedicate myself to try to finish and complete in 2021, just because of nostalgic purpose, just because it was a show that I loved. So, you know, I'm going to give it a try, even though it's probably not one of the best Nintendo games ever, but you got to give things a try, you know? All right, the next game, Operation Wolf. Now these, if you guys remember, if you ever gone to an arcade and you had those like arcade shooters where you have the gun and you pick up the gun, you're shooting like Time Crisis, games like that. This game was kind of ahead of its time. This was around that time, basically a little before that. And it was really, really cool. And you could play this, I believe you could play this with the light gun, the Nintendo Zapper, and a controller. And I've played this, obviously, and I've never beaten it. This is the game that I definitely want to beat. Now, the only issue with this game, as I remember, is it's really, first of all, number one, it's really difficult. Two, oh my goodness, the amount of pressure it put on your fingers from holding the controller and doing this. I don't have a controller with me right here, but just the amount of button mashing and things you got to do and movement and stuff like that. I remember my hands being so sore from the corners of the controller after this. My hands were so sore. So I'm not looking forward to that again, because I'm older now and things hurt worse than I did when I was a kid. And I remember being sore as a kid playing this game. So we'll see what happens when I play it. But Operation Wolf is a really fun game. Fun shooter if you like those kind of games. Next game, Rambo. Now, this was a cool 80s movie, obviously. And look at, like I said, all macho. Look at muscle-bound Sylvester Stallone holding a light machine gun in his arm, hip firing. Like, come on. If that doesn't signify the 80s, I mean, what does? I mean, cool movie. Not so sure about the game. We're going to find out. I've never actually played Rambo. Never in my life played Rambo. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's not an expensive game. It will cost you $4 or $5 to buy it in a store or something like that. But it's worth giving a shot because, like I said, I like just nostalgic things, and I love, like I said, the 80s stuff like that. So I wanna dive in, see if I could beat a game that I've never played before. All right, next game, Bionic Commando. This is another game that I tried out a little bit. I've never beaten it. But I never really, like I said, I played a lot of sports games when I was young, so I never really dove into too many of these games. But now that I'm older, I want to be able to dive back in and see if I can complete them. This is a cool game. This is actually a game that signifies the 80s. Everything in the 80s was always about bionic arms, bionic this, bionic men, bionic women. Men and women given like superpowers by giving, special traits to their body or special things that were attached to their body or stuff like that. And this one, of course, the guy has a robotic arm that can basically he can use to grapple and pull himself up or swing across things. And that was kind of ahead of its time if you think about it, this game, because this game was really cool, the mechanics of it, the way you'd be able to swing and grapple things and pull yourself up and stuff like that. But I want to dive in. I'm going to see what happens and see if I can complete this game in 2021. The next game, Jaws. Now, I beat this game a long time ago. It's not hard, I should say. It just takes a lot of perseverance, patience, I would say, because it's a lot of moving around and a lot of fighting Jaws and a lot of like just underwater battles. Basically, your whole thing is collecting shells and collecting power-ups and stuff from the bottom by killing stingrays and different fish and jellyfish and stuff like that. But it gets harder as it goes on, and you got to kind of like fight Jaws till his power goes down till you finally blow him up with you have to blow him up with the can, like just like the movie. But anyways, if I remember correctly. Anyways, this game, of course, another 80s movie or 70s. I think this might be 70s. I'm not sure, but I call it 80s because that's when I basically saw it. But anyways, fun game, and I want to revisit it. I want to revisit this one and definitely play this again and hopefully beat it again because I think I can. Anyways, next one, we got Strider. Here's another cool futuristic from the 80s movie. Another one of those kind of macho things where we got a guy who has he's a super soldier, and he's sent to find another super soldier, I believe. I think. Don't hold me to that. But anyways, I play a little bit of another one of these games that I played when I was a kid because I thought it was cool, but then it's so hard that I couldn't like do anything, so I just gave it up. And now that I'm an adult, I want to play it again. Now, another cool thing about this game, I've heard that it's actually, this is not obviously the best version of the game. Now, I want to play it on this, but apparently the best version of this game is on the Sega Genesis from what I've heard. The graphics are better and it just looks and plays better. It's the same exact game, but it's just way better on the Sega Genesis. I've seen some footage of it, and I actually think it does look better and everything, but I'm going to play this one on the NES because I might as well just give it a shot. And plus, I don't own the Sega Genesis one, so there you have it. Maybe by the end of this video, maybe I'll find it and get lucky because I haven't yet to find it in the wild. I like to find my games at like garage sales, yard sales, and stuff like that. So I try to stay away from game stores too much because sometimes they price gouge you, but certain game stores I will go to because they do, you know, they do work with you, or they do give you pretty good deals if they know you come and collect, they know that you're not reselling. Basically, a lot of game stores, they don't, I mean, they're there to make money in their business, and they don't want to sit there and have you try to buy a game for like $2 so you can resell it on eBay for like $20 when they can just sell it to you for, you know, $15 or $14 instead of $20, and know that you're holding it, you're not trying to sell it. You know what I mean? So some game stores are pretty cool like that. Other game stores will price gouge you. Here where I live, they'll try to like charge you an arm and a leg for stuff. Especially games, but if they know you collect, they know that you're gonna keep the game, you're gonna cherish it. A lot of them will work with you, and they'll drop the price, or they'll sell it to you, or they'll sell it for a reasonable price and stuff like that, or they'll give you a better deal on your trade-ins when you trade in stuff, because they know that you'll appreciate it and you'll get their game and you're not gonna resell it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, moving on. Karate Kid. There you go. Awesome 80s movie, and obviously right now Cobra Kai is such a big show right now. A lot of people are watching that on Netflix. It's obviously based off this movie from the 80s. I've never in my life actually touched this game nor played this game. I got it for just pure nostalgic purposes, just because I loved the Karate Kid as a movie back when I was a kid. I loved Elizabeth Shue. Who didn't love Allie when you were a kid, being like in love with Allie? Anyways, another game that I plan on playing, like I said, never played that one before, so I plan on trying to beat that and see how it goes. From what I've seen of it so far, it's just like you're fighting in the tournament, then you're in Okinawa, then you're like in, I guess it goes through moments of movies or stuff like that, and I guess the levels just get harder and harder. We'll see what happens, but yeah, another game that I want to play. Now, I do want to mention I have 3 honorable mentions for NES games that I want to play in 2021. And these 3 are games that I've beaten. All 3 I've beaten. But all 3 I want to play again to see if I can beat again. Or just because of the sheer fact that they were fun. And a lot of them hold some 80s nostalgia for me as well. The first one being Commando. Played this when I was a kid, beat this. Played this with my cousins and beat this. Played this with my best friend, I believe, and beat this as well. And this is the game that I just enjoyed when I was a kid. It was a pretty fun shooter. It's a top-down shooter. You're basically over the top, overlooking, one of those type of games like Akari Warriors and things like that. But this is a really cool game. If you ever get a chance, check it out. It's not that expensive either. You can find this for pretty good price if you want to get it and play it. And the next one I talked about in one of my other videos, Mike Tyson's Punchout. I want to beat Mike Tyson again. I want to work my way all the way up to him and beat him again. I can't play I have a problem with the other one. A lot of people can play the other one, the regular Punch-Out game that they released without Mike Tyson in it. It's got like, I forgot what the guy's name at the end was. I don't even care because it's not Mike Tyson. To me, this will always be the Punch-Out game that is the real Punch-Out game. Anyways, I want to fight my way all the way up to him and beat him again. This one I definitely want to stream. I want to see if I can stream it and beat him on the stream. That'd be really cool because then all you guys can see it. And then on top of that, I have it recorded. I have it recorded, documented, streamed, done. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to do that on this. And and like I said, having this system right here is perfect because it's a real Nintendo's, no lag, things like that. So it should be fun. And last, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. everybody know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, sorry, the arcade game. It's not exactly like the arcade, obviously, because this is an 8-bit system. It doesn't look like the arcade does when we played that our cool arcade game. But it is cool nonetheless, still fun to play, and it's fun to play with your friends. You can play 2 players on this together. And it's just a cool game to sit on the couch and chill with your friends and play with. I've beaten this about 1 billion times. But I'm definitely always up to play this game just because of the sheer fact that it's turtles and it's fun. You know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a cool cartoon, and I enjoyed watching that when I was a kid as well. So this is a really fun game to play. So those are the 3 honorable mentions, and there's so many. I have tons of NES games back there that I could play, but those are the ones I chose for this video. But let me know in the comment section if you have any games that you want to play in 2021 for the NES, or games that you want to see me play for the NES in 2021 or in the future or on a stream and stuff like that. Let me know some of the games that you've beaten for the NES that just gave you that feeling of just joy and nostalgia, and just games that you played that you couldn't beat, that you just always want to pick back up and beat again. Those games are fun. And always don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that notification bell when you want to see more videos like this, or more videos in general from me, or when you want to be notified that I've already put them out and stuff like that, or when I'm streaming, because that's going to be most important, is when you get to see me stream some of this stuff and stream some of these games I'm talking about. So like I said, let me know in the comment section of some games that you liked from the NES that you want to play again, or games that you want to play that you never got to play, or games that you've beaten that you want to beat again, or games that you never beaten that you want to beat, stuff like that, or games that you want to see me play because you just want to see, you know, some cool 80s nostalgic stuff, or yeah, just cool stuff in general. Anyways, that's it for the video. Stay tuned for the next one. Not sure which console it's going to be. We'll decide that when the time comes. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate all you guys coming through, giving those comments and liking the videos and stuff like that. And it's been a pleasure. So for Optimus Magnum, I'm signing out. Peace, y'all, and happy gaming.